Going live. Going live. We're going live, Chris. Hey, how's everybody doing? Do we like it like this or do we like it like this?
That's probably better.
Okay.
The smaller my face, the better.
So Blue is already saying hello. G-Force is already here. Tez is in the house.
What up, Tez?
Hey, Uncle Tez. So Chris and I were going to quickly talk about the rest of Star Wars Visions, and I know a lot of people have already seen the whole thing and are beyond it by now, but we still want to finish up that chat that we were having. And then we want to talk about, I think we're going to talk about some trading cards here, because there's some new Star Wars trading cards out in the wild. And I found a couple boxes the other day and also found out there's more than one set going on right now in 2021. So Star Wars trading cards are back. I got my wish. Now it's trying to track them down. Yeah. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that and what's the best way to go tracking these things down a little bit later in the show. But first off, Chris, how's things going this week? What are you up to?
Good. It was another busy week at work, but I actually have today off, so went around and did a little hunting.
Yeah.
Got a package from a buddy in England this morning before I left.
Cool.
Good stuff. So not a bad day.
My Luke with Yasal Amari finally showed up.
Nice. It's about damn time.
I know, about damn time, but it showed up in the mail the other day. I was like, whoa, look at this.
I got my Han Solo vintage pack, the new 6-inch one. Yeah. In the Power of the Force package or whatever the orange cards were.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So now I just have to wait for wherever my Guido is.
Yeah, cool. Were those just Hasbro exclusives, or were those sold? Where'd you get yours from?
Those were also on Disney Plus or Disney Shop. I think.
Okay. So they're probably around in a few places then.
Yeah.
Connor's here. Hey, Connor, how you doing? Good to see you. Michael Reed. Nice. Good day, Michael. Jonathan's here. Can always count on Jonathan. Good to see you, Jonathan. Tim, hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Got some great people talking in the chat today. Everyone's saying hello to each other. So, Chris, the final group of episodes of Star Wars Visions, what do you think?
Well, the first one that would have been up was 2B1, which was I couldn't stop thinking about Astro Boy the whole time.
Yeah.
Between Astro Boy and Pinocchio, it was like, okay. I mean, it was a cute episode, but I don't know. It was okay.
Yeah.
As usual, the voice work was good. The animation I liked. But it was just, I couldn't stop thinking about Astro Boy.
Yeah, it was totally Astro Boy. I agree. And it actually reminded me a few other things that I'd seen. Like there was one with a clockwork droid boy or whatever that was trying to be more than what he was designed to be. I remember this little I think it was a comic that I read, and it reminded me of that as well. I can't remember the name of that thing though. It was so long ago that I saw it. It was an independent guy that I ran into, and he was really nice, and he had this great idea in it. Oh man, my eyes. Sorry, I'm getting something in my eyes or something. And then we had the one with the Elder. That one was pretty cool. I liked that one.
I really liked that one. That's another one of those that probably could be expanded out to a series.
Yeah, I agree.
Him and his master wandering.
Chris, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to splash some water on my face here. My eyes are burning. I don't know what.
Nice and cool here, and I am unnecessarily sleeping. I don't know why.
So talk to the guys for a second while I clean out whatever it is I got in my eye, because it's burning like crazy.
Okay. So I can move the chat up and down, guys. So see, Dave's Dimension is in. Hey, Dave, where have you been able to find that Ghostbusters cereal reissued? I can't find it anywhere. Of course, I haven't been to a Safeway yet, but I don't. I can't seem to find it anywhere. And G4 says the Astro Boy episode had some Pinocchio overtones. Yeah, very much so. It was very, very Pinocchio. And they had Kyle Chandler as one of the voices. He was pretty cool. But
hopefully that does it. Yeah,
we're
let's
kind of
see
having
here.
that here too. It became fall today very quickly. And we have a high of 55 today. And I'm just zapped. I just want to take a nap.
Dave's Dimensions here. Hey Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, Dave, I've been to I was at 4 Walmarts today and I still have never seen that stupid cereal. I wonder if they're holding it back a little bit longer.
What cereal's that?
I'm looking for that Ghostbusters reissue cereal.
Oh yeah.
I got my Addams Family stuff today and some the reissue Count Chocula's and stuff today.
Yeah, the Astro Boy episode looked too much right out of the story. If they're eating hot sauce, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. Because I don't know if it's a Walmart exclusive or not, if I just need to look at out of the way Walmarts.
Mr. Rez is here. Good to see you.
Rez.
Putting vodka in my eyes. Wow.
Not even the Russians drink vodka that way.
Man, I'm going to have to go.
What I kind of thought.
I'm going to have to go rinse them out again. It's not working. Hold on.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, and you're right. It completely took me out of that episode. And I didn't, it was okay, but not as much as I like the Elder. We'll move on and start talking about the Elder. And that was really, really well done. But, and we'll wait for John to get back, but I think they missed an opportunity for the old man to be voiced, using James Hong is great, but he didn't sound like James Hong. He was perfectly cast though. But it was really cool. David Harbour from Stranger Things is the older of the two Jedi, and it was cool to hear his voice as in an animated thing. We've moved on to talking about the Elder.
Okay, I grabbed a different pair of glasses because what if the glasses cleaner I used on those, maybe it got in my.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, maybe it was too much and it got in my eye or something.
I was just saying how much I enjoyed James Hong as the Elder.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool. Ever overspray some cologne? It's the worst taste. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I loved that. That was good.
He just kind of was, and you're done. I'm going to play with you.
I like whenever a show or someone thinks up a new move for a Jedi or a Sith, to like that, where the lightsaber was off and he got it up to the guy and then he just turned it on and it went right through him. Mm-hmm. That was cool. And
I like that the Elder episode seemed to be one of the few episodes. I mean, I don't know if it's just me or all these episodes seem to imply that the rebellion has failed. This has seemed to be the only episode that really showed that we're still in a time of the Republic, and the Empire isn't really here yet, and that they've got the Sith are under control or missing, and that kind of thing. And it's every episode just seemed really dark, and that's how a lot of anime is.
Yeah.
But
well, and especially like speaking of dark, that last episode, like, wasn't that a weird way to end the series? Like,
yeah,
like I just thought it was because it just like stops. He's like, saves the person. He goes, well, I guess I got to go with him. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
dark side guy now, even though I don't want to be. But it's like you
I
still
guess the
have a
dark side
choice.
wins.
Like, you still have a choice. You could just kill the master and be like, haha. Like, I used you to save my friend, and it's like, no, but I'm not going to turn totally bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what the. Like, okay, guess I'm a bad guy now. End of the show.
It was like, what was the what? What? I don't. Okay, if you say so. You know, but yeah, I don't know. It was cool to just the um, guy from Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Was the voice, and it was cool to see him in Star Wars. But George Takei
Yep,
as
I
his
remember
master,
George was in
that
there.
was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Finally pulling him in again. He hasn't been in since the Clone Wars, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, you're right. It was just a weird, there really wasn't any episode that ended well. I think I would have ended with the Ninth Jedi, which
yeah,
ended with a victory and let's go explore
yeah,
and find
yeah,
other people.
yeah. That one would have been a cool one because I think the three that have potential, like G-Force is saying, if Disney was testing the market, the Duel and the Elder were the two that you and uh and then I kind of like the story of the Ninth Jedi and where that could go,
Mm-hmm.
because that had an interesting arc to it, and a little twist in this little short episode, and also a place for hope to go into the future. And it was pretty cool visually because their little asteroid they were on, when they were done and it turned around, it was a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like it was cool.
Oh, and
So
even that Lopen Oche episode, that
yes, that
ended
was
on
all
a
right. Yeah,
sad
yeah,
note. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, now the father's lost his eye, and the sister is evil now, or not really. She doesn't understand
yeah,
why he doesn't think the Empire's good.
yeah. It's kind of like that question of, I guess, in a sense, even Jyn Erso brought it up in Rogue One, where she was like, it doesn't really matter if you don't get involved, if you don't look up, like, because to an average citizen that doesn't cause trouble, is the Empire really that bad? I mean, they've put order to the galaxy, they've stopped the war, and
Yeah.
until the rebels start fighting again. And if you're on a regular planet that apparently didn't have any resources, you wouldn't be like scrutinized or put into slave. You'd just be like living your life
Yeah.
under the Empire, And I guess if you were on a resource heavy planet, you'd be turned into slaves or something. So that might suck. But like if you're on a regular planet that doesn't have something the Empire wants, I think those people were just living their lives, right? So
Pretty much. And that seems to be, even in that marriage episode, that was kind of weird, but they really
yes,
didn't
that was
seem
a
to be,
strange one. Yeah.
you know, it's yeah. I've always put forward, since the original trilogy, that the Empire doesn't, apart from blowing stuff up, the Empire doesn't actually seem to be that overbearing. They seem to levy taxes. They seem to, you know, be a military presence. They're more of, and we lost John.
This again. You
No,
lost my
this again.
camera. It's just my camera. It'll
Oh,
come back. There it
I,
goes.
until the Bad Batch and stuff, where they actually started being more evil and stuff, I've always thought of the Empire as more of the 1800s British Empire, or even the Romans,
Yeah.
who would come in, take over. They wouldn't force you to change your religion, as long as you'd pray to a Roman god or so every so often. You could still do your whatever pagan stuff you wanted. They built roads, they
We're
built infrastructure,
separatists. We're separatists.
and they levy taxes and things. And but then now I think our generation is moving to that, now that we're in charge of the shows and stuff. We're
Yeah.
like, we really need to show that they're actually evil. that they put people to death, that they, like in the Mandalorian when she has those guys hung up on, on poles because whatever they did.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more that they're actually evil.
You could argue that some of those factions, like the guy who was after Baby Yoda there, the little child, are even more evil than the Empire was.
Yeah.
From what we've seen, you know what I mean? I mean, yes, blowing up a planet's pretty darn evil, but I mean, like those guys were just outright ruthless and terrible. Even Moff Gideon, I mean, he just has no like mercy or sympathy at all. He's just like, when your time is up, I'm gonna kill you. That's how it is. And they were like,
Yeah.
and he's like, if you're wondering if you can trust me, no, you cannot. I'm gonna betray you at any chance I get. So it's like he just says it like it is, and in some ways he's more ruthless than previous guys we've seen.
Well, now that the Empire is gone and the New Republic doesn't seem to be stepping up to do anything. Of course, it's only been 5 years. But everything's just devolved into a Wild West type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The rebels. I mean, terrorists. Let's call them what they are.
They were terrorists. By today's standards, they were.
They're
the Empire.
Yeah.
Jonathan had a good one back here. He was like Darth Maul's double saber reveal, and when that. Didn't they reveal that in the trailer?
They come out of sheaths, and then they turn on. They turn on and off like that for the most part. I love that bit.
Yeah, that was cool. After the kind, Jonathan's like, all the bad stuff in Mandalorian's done after the kind Emperor was murdered. Hey, Scuba Pete's here. How you doing?
Hey, Scuba, what up?
Where is he? There he is.
Well, and now that they've rewritten prehistory to the point of, with now that Rogue One has come out, and we see the destruction of Jeddah and stuff like that, and them destroying their own base, they're more evil than just blowing up Alderaan.
Yeah.
But
we did see some of that ruthlessness from Tarkin, especially blowing up Alderaan, and then when like in Rebels where he was like, they've taken over that control tower for the radio or whatever, and he just blows it up, and it's like, but that's our own, and he's like, I don't care, I'm just gonna, if that's where they are and I can have a chance of killing them.
Have you ever read the Tarkin novel?
No, yeah, I listened to some of it on Audible, but I haven't finished it yet.
I love that novel because I liked Tarkin. I don't know why. I came to I like Peter Cushing, so that
that too, yeah.
So that's why I like Count Dooku so much, because I love Christopher Lee. Christopher Lloyd would be an awesome Jedi.
He'd be Jim Andatowski.
Oh man. But yeah, it's a great novel because it shows exactly who Tarkin is, and whoever had been watching the Clone Wars episodes of Tarkin then wrote it so it all kind of fit together. And then after that book came out and he's in Rebels, you can really see that they did.
I'll have to finish it. I gotta go back. There's two that I started listening, 2 or 3 that I listened to like halfway through. I think what it was I was listening to one book, and then while I was listening to it, going to work and doing stuff, another book came out I wanted to listen to, so I started the other one.
Yeah. And
then the same thing happens. I'm like, I got to check this other one out, Now I got 3 I've not finished, Yeah, exactly. And like someone said,
think of how they had, at least that we know of, 2 Death Stars being built at the same time.
Yeah, they overlapped a little bit. Yeah,
because they had to overlap because it took almost 20 years to build the first one.
Yeah,
and the second one was almost completed by Return of the Jedi. So that means to have been started.
Were they thinking of building a fleet of them, or was it just like
in old EU?
2 was
in old
enough?
EU there were 6.
Oh, really? Wow.
but they were
Was
being
it
built
IG-88
inside
a
a
Death
black
Star?
hole.
Was it IG-88 a Death Star in the old EU?
Uh,
He got like
he had big explosion powers.
I thought that he got like his download into a Death Star and he became a Death Star or something.
Man, EU got weird at the end.
Someone will have to remind me of that one. Something
Yeah.
happened with IG-88 and the Death Star, I thought. But yeah, I was like he says they murdered millions because there were janitors, there was a lunch lady, okay? There was a calm, normal, nice old lunch lady that worked in the Death Star cafeteria and she got blown up, Your nice lunch lady got blown up because the rebels were like, well, we don't care about all the civilians that are working on the thing, all the janitors, there was probably a library with a nice, cute little librarian working there. And
exactly.
they got blown up.
Just don't even think about it. They just move on.
Yeah, well, if I was actually going to make a video, I've thrown this idea around in my head of making a video and how many times the Jedi and especially the Jedi in the prequels, just flat out killed and didn't care about any of the normal citizens. Because especially when Obi-Wan and Anakin save Palpatine and they're in Grievous's ship and it's crashing, they crash right through a freaking building and a radar tower. And I'm like, there's employees in those things. And the guys in the planes are trying to put the fire out to save the Chancellor, right? He's Chancellor Palpatine at that point. And I'm like, you just killed a whole building worth of people trying to save the Chancellor. Exactly. And then they kill it. There's like a one of those control towers they smashed through. And I'm going, they just probably killed a good couple thousand people while crashing that ship, and just to save one guy.
Well, plus think of all those ships that were being blown up above them that were then falling to the ground into a city
people's houses. Yeah.
There's not. We don't ever see a lot of parks on Coruscant.
No, it's just a big...
I was checking my West End Games thing real quick, and there are 1.148309 people on board the Death Star when it explodes in Episode 4. So almost 1.2 million.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. The Ewoks were fine until the rebels got involved, and then loads of them were killed. Yeah. And the propaganda is what got the Ewoks to join. They weren't fighting the stormtroopers beforehand. They were like, "What? They're not doing anything." And
3PO's there and tells them a good story.
Yeah.
Pretends to be their god. Exactly.
It's Tarkin's back to more organized time. Yeah. Hey Gerard, how you doing? How you doing?
Show me the child.
Eye for an eye. Yeah.
There
was probably a couple
billion people on Alderaan.
Yeah, there was a few billion on Alderaan. You're right.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They killed everybody after they built the first Death Star, right? They just wiped them out. Yeah, that's right. And there was plenty of Wookiees they wiped out. The Wookiees are nice. Yeah.
See, so, the Empire was
giant ants.
Force for good. And that's another thing came up in the Bad Batch almost immediately was the Empire hasn't even been around for a month or so yet, and already Saul is running around trying to get a rebellion together to overthrow the Empire. It's like, what? Why? Because they want you to get a driver's license and a passport.
Two corpses, everything's fine.
Yeah,
2 corpses.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like
Crazy's here. Good to see you, Shabby. Nice to see you, Shabby.
But anyway, back to the. So
sorry, we went way off, but
we talked about Elope and Oche a little bit.
Yeah.
I liked the look of that. It was nice to see a non. What's nice about these and animation is you get to see non-humanoid things actually in Star Wars.
Was she the same species as Jackson, just not?
No.
So
But
there's two rabbit species in Star Wars.
Apparently, because in the new, I haven't bought it yet. The new issue of Darth Vader has Jackson in it quite a bit. So Marvel or IDW isn't walking away from.
No, they're not gonna. Yeah.
So that's pretty funny, I actually think.
I didn't either. That was probably my third or fourth or fifth okay one. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked that one. I thought it was good. And then in the last episode reminded me a lot of kind of like Hidden Fortress, with those two guys just kind of with them for no real reason. Reminded me of the two guys who R2 and 3PO are based on from Hidden Fortress.
Yeah.
Just kind of there as a joke in their own way. But overall, I did like the series. I still the twins is still the episode I don't like the most. But the rest of them, like everybody says, I think those three could easily be made into their own series of things.
Yeah.
But I wish there had been.
Hello, Any World. How you doing?
Hey, Any World. What up, Luke?
It's Luke,
more
right?
happy endings. And the more I watched it, the more I thought, is this Star Wars?
Yeah.
And what exactly then is Star Wars? Because as I watched it, I was like, really, if they didn't have lightsabers and randomly there wasn't like a B-Wing or an Imperial cruiser in there, would you think this had anything to do with Star Wars?
Some of them didn't. You're right. Yeah. Some of them you wouldn't really notice. Yeah.
Like the Ninth Jedi was clearly a Star Wars story. It had the look of a Star Wars. It had the same costumes. It had lightsabers. It had Sith and stuff like that. But like that marriage episode, that had almost nothing to do with Star Wars. And
yeah, that too. You're right.
It was just kind of, it made me think within what is Star Wars? What am I looking for when I want to see a Star Wars story? Is it an architectural design that I need? I don't know. It was weird.
To breathe like.
I do hope they do another series of it, though.
Well, playing this is something interesting that you brought up, though. There is a style to Star Wars because I'm currently playing, and Jonathan, he friended me with one of my characters in this game. We're playing the Star Wars, The Old Republic online multiplayer game, the big MMO. Wow. And I like it. I really enjoy it, by the way. And I hope Salacious wants to get a group together and play like fresh new characters and all do the quests and stuff together one day. But I don't know when we're going to be able to arrange all that. But if anybody else plays, look up me and Jonathan because we'd love to play. I gotta
start again. I downloaded it. I just haven't turned it on yet.
I gotta meet up with Jonathan one day, and we gotta plan a day to run around together because we both have high level characters. But anyways, there are ships in that game. There's starships and other things that the locations, like you go to Nal Hutta, you go to or Nar Shaddaa. Yeah, you go to Nal Hutta, you go to Nar Shaddaa, Coruscant's in there, and they all look very Star Wars, the locations. The creatures and animals, I mean, there's Acklays, there's Reeks, and there's actually now even Mudhorns in the game. So, I mean, like, they're keeping up with the creatures. But the starships, there's a lot of starships that are very not Star Wars. They're not in, like, there's a specific way that ships are built in Star Wars going all the way back to the prequels. And even when we went back to, like, the Old Republic. But for some reason, this version of the Old Republic, like, there's Star Destroyers with giant wings hanging off the side. Like, these pointy things sticking out the sides. And it's like, what? Like, there's some that are sort of the normal, but they have a split in the middle. And that looks very Star Wars because they did a hangar bay in the center and it's got like two triangles almost sticking out in the front, but they're still flat like a Star Destroyer, and their triangle in the main like base where they control the ship is up on top. But then they have these weird ones that have these wings sticking out the side. It's like what the hell is that? That's not how Star Wars ships are designed.
Some of that is early Macquarie. If you go back to the first few, if you've got that big Macquarie book,
Did he
and you
have
go through
some
the
like
first,
that?
30, 40 pages, there's some weird designs in there that they may have taken some of that. And some of them do have these
Okay.
weird, like when he was trying to make an X-Wing, he literally made an X-ish.
Well, yeah,
It
but he
looked
didn't
weird.
stick
And
an
then
X-wing
there was
on
a
a
Star
Star
Destroyer
Destroyer,
that
did
had
he?
all this weird stuff.
Did he stick an X-wing on a Star Destroyer? It's like he took a Star, like the game took a
It did
Star
kind of look
Destroyer
like it.
and then stuck X-wing wings on it. It's like, what's that? Like, but it looks so weird to me that I'm like, that is not a Star Wars ship. Like, in there's a couple of fighters in the game that are like, that's a Battlestar Galactica fighter. That's not a Star Wars fighter. There's a difference, And I'm like, so that's my only thing is some of their choices for starfighters are just odd. And also some of the like Star Wars has two different designs. There are symmetrical designs and then there are asymmetrical. So the TIE fighter, the X-wing, the A-wing, you can cut them in the middle and they're symmetrical. But stuff like the B-wing is an asymmetric design, And they even kind of screwed some of that up where it's like there are ships that when you look at it, you're going, that would be awesome if it was an asymmetrical design. But because they wanted symmetry, they put this other part on it, and now it looks terrible. You know what I mean? It's like it would have looked
like the
I
Outrider.
don't know.
The Outrider ship. I don't like the look of that ship because it's
I like it.
Symmetrical.
I like that ship. Yeah.
Yeah. There's weird ships, but yeah, you're right. There's some odd stuff, and I don't know if it's. I don't know. It hit me more watching these a second time was if they didn't have glowy swords, would I think it was Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they almost never use force powers. Only one person really uses, a couple people really use use lightning.
Yeah.
And, it's weird.
Normal swords is totally not Star Wars. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Marriage, exactly. Missed an opportunity there.
Hey Matt, how you doing? Good to see you.
I still like the Ninth Jedi the best out of all of them. Probably the Ninth Jedi, cool. The Duel, and then the Elder.
Yeah. Well, the Ninth Jedi, I could see having the most potential to go on with a show that the general audience would really like. Mm-hmm. I think that's really got going for it. Where the Duel was really good, but there is a certain audience that might not want to stick with that type of animation style and that stuff. But
I wonder where. See, and that's the questions. I want to know more about the Ninth Jedi. Where is it set?
Yeah.
Is it set after the Sith have won, or have the Sith and the Jedi fought each other to basically a duel, a standstill?
I'm not at best in slot. I'm like, I think my main guy got to 305, so I'm almost to 306, and I haven't got my set bonus gear yet. I've got like two pieces, so I need to get the rest of the 6 for my mercenary. I'm a mercenary guy.
Going forward, at least for most of this month, I'm actually supposed to have Thursdays and Fridays off, so I might actually be able to start playing something for it.
Oh yeah. Good to see you, Matt. If I didn't say that before, I think I said hello,
we're
Matt.
Very Sith heavy.
Yeah.
And we all like the Sith, and I've questioned I have problems with the 501, but mostly because they teach kids that the stormtroopers are nice people who come visit them in hospitals and do charity work, and they do great charity work, and those guys are some nicest people I know. But the Empire has better uniforms. The rebels have their own little group that does that stuff, but they're nowhere near as cool.
Yeah.
But
good to see you, Left Coast.
Hey, Left Coast,
thanks for joining us. Off-World Adam, yeah.
Hey, Adam.
Jonathan loves the Rebels cartoon. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And, they say that even though, you see the behind the scenes stuff with Lucas going through with his stamp and stamping things. Everything he doesn't stamp still gets put away in a book. And they pull it out later for something else, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very weird looking
I think actually I love Star Trek vehicles, but I also think that you need to get away from the saucer design.
Well, even hey Padawan, good to see you, Joey.
Hey,
But
Joey.
wasn't the latest Enterprise almost more triangular? It was a rounded triangle in a sense.
Yeah, it was more of kind of the Voyager look.
Voyager kind of way,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They started
Oval.
spreading out a little bit.
Yeah. I thought it had a really slick design. The latest Enterprise was really futuristic looking and slick design.
Yeah.
Rishi Flashpoint 3, super easy fights, drops gold level gear, 90. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Rishi Battle Flashpoint. All right.
And the Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, the Ninth Jedi I think would work for a really good series. And then the Elder and the Duel. I would not be disappointed to see any of those three made into series.
The
That's
Duel. I bought that book. It should be to me here in a couple of days.
I got to get the book, yeah. And I haven't heard anything back from the author, so I don't know if she's trying to find out what time she can do it, or maybe she just doesn't want to do it. I don't know yet. We were DMing to see, and then I just haven't heard anything back after the last DM, so I don't know. We'll see. I read today that what? Did you just... He fell over dead.
And suddenly the animator died.
Yes. I hope you're okay, Tez.
Yeah, no kidding, Tez.
He didn't die mid-sentence there. There you go.
The first episode, I really did think the Duel was probably the best looking.
Yeah.
And just because I really love the Kurosawa look of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Chevy there. There's Tez. He's still alive. Okay.
Oh, good.
Voting for Duel is my favorite. Ninth and the Elder round out my top three. Yeah. See,
everybody I've talked to says the same thing.
I think most of us agree on that then. Yeah. Yeah. And we wouldn't
Although
really
I do know a couple people at work who really want to see the band go on tour from Tatooine Rhapsody. And they want to see him go around and kind of like in a Partridge Family sort of way.
Oh, come on.
And it was like, really? Like, yeah, we think that'd be cool. Or kind of like the Monkees. And it's like, I don't know if Star Wars can handle the Monkees.
Did we say hi to Jason yet? Jason's here.
I don't know. Hey, Jason, what's up?
I hope it wasn't that. That's what Tez was trying to say. Like, where he lives just fell into a giant sinkhole, and he fell into. So I've read today that I'm falling into a giant sinkhole, and then I end up in Mammoth Times.
It's Mad Libs or Choose Your Own Adventure. But yeah, I'd say overall, I think the series was really worth it. Even the twins. The twins being the most Star Wars of all the stories seem to be the weakest in its own weird way.
That band episode was the worst. See,
I don't know what's wrong with them.
I really almost want to put that as my worst episode too. So I'm right with Jonathan. I don't know what people are thinking if they want. It's like a joke. I think that's what it is.
I think they want to see more levity in Star Wars. That they want to see more of a droids Ewok.
It could be. Show. Yeah, it could be a comedy or very, very lighthearted thing. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, something that would be taken too seriously. Speaking of, are we gonna? Didn't I hear we're gonna get that to finally watch that canceled show that was like claymation, or what was that one?
Oh, Detours.
It got canceled like immediately, and they were already done with like 8 or 9 episodes.
They got 48 episodes finished.
Is that how many they did?
Yeah, they had a whole bunch, almost 2 seasons complete. And then Disney bought Lucasfilm and killed the show because they wanted to immediately go to work on other things to build toward Force Awakens. I heard
that they were just going to throw it on Disney Plus. I swear I saw that somewhere written the other day.
It did, and then they were going to then it died again.
Oh, and then it got killed again?
They didn't want to put it out yet. But now there's more and more pressure on them to say, why not? Just put it out.
Yeah.
I think we could have a battle of the bands between them and Max and the band and the guys from Tatooine.
There you go.
You know, come on.
It's a slow build up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That would be very cool.
Oh, there we
Because I
go.
really liked that comic.
Yeah.
That comic was actually pretty cool. The
Yeah, it
original
was.
script with original
With
design.
Macquarie Designs, yeah.
Yeah, it
We
was
got-
interesting.
We got the old Patrick Stewart Jedi. Yeah. I have the Patrick Stewart Jedi action figure right over there.
That was a cool series of figures too. I really think they should do that series as a Black Series set.
Master Jokes here. Good to see you.
Hey, what's up?
Detours was nearly finished. Fabulous Disasters here too.
I think they had 62 scripted episodes because it was only going to go 3 seasons, and they'd finished 2 complete seasons before it was even going to air.
Wow.
Kind of like Star Wars Underworld, the Fox series that never happened.
Never happened. Yeah.
Never happened. They had 45 finished scripts for that,
but nothing filmed.
And nothing filmed because they wanted to have a complete arc all the way through what they wanted to do, and they wanted to have at least 4 seasons completely written before they even started casting, which is crazy. Yeah, see?
There you go.
See, now it's not such a crazy idea, is it?
Well, I still like the wagon train idea that we came up with, Chris. I think we need to go pitch that show.
Yeah.
Or at least pitch the episode for a Mandalorian episode, right?
It'd be a great filler episode for the Mandalorian.
Chris and I were talking last week, if anyone wasn't here, that's here to this week, that wasn't here last week, about what do the moisture farmers, where do they get the water? Like the moisture farmers we're assuming that those moisture vaporators take water out of the air, condense it into water, like basically like the air particles condense it into water, and there must be a tank underground that puts the water in. But at some point, if you're a farmer, you've got to be selling the product to make money. So at some point, Lars and the family, or some other moisture farmer, it doesn't have to be Lars, has to pump all that water out of the tank into a cargo vessel that's got to be either towed by dewbacks or towed by banthas, or it could hover, and he's got a special land speeder that's got a big tank on the back full of water. And you could have like 2 or 3 of these things, and he's got to hire mercenaries or bounty hunters like the Mandalorian or someone to protect the shipment as it gets to town, because it's a long way to Anchorhead, and he could be attacked by rogue band of whoever's or
bandits, Tusken Raiders,
Jawas could even raid it, so these guys got to guard the wagon train of water as it goes to Anchorhead, and that'd be a great episode. It's a great episode, yeah. So Chris and I need to get writing and pitch it to Lucas there, to Disney, I guess. Do we think Visions was good enough to make a season 2? I think so, but I would like totally different stories. A couple of them we could have, like those 3 or 4 that we enjoyed, they could have like a second part or a different adventure with those characters. But some of the other ones we're not going to want to see another version of. We're not going to see it. We're not going to want to see another Astro Boy getting a lightsaber, or Tatooine Rhapsody, or the twins, So if they did different animation styles and a whole bunch of new stories, that I'd be more into, I
don't know if it could sustain itself to a season 3, though. Depending on what they did with 2, I just don't think it's a strong enough concept to do too many episodes of.
No, I don't think people will keep giving it a chance, because there was more that people weren't 100% on board with than they really enjoyed. So they're not going to give it that many chances, All of my favorite people are here. Makes me happy. Me too. G-Force. Thank you. That's Phil Tippett's new animated. Ooh, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I've got to go look for that then.
Yeah. I like Phil Tippett. He's a great guy. Really talented. Chris,
I saw a little bit of that, John, but not much. And then, all that was supposed to tie in with level 1313, the game.
Oh, the game got canceled.
Too.
Yeah, that's right. That game got canceled. You're right. I never saw any of that. I missed it. It's too bad I missed it. Fill their own vessels. Sorry, I went for.
Stop.
They stopped by.
Shut up, G-Force.
Don't ruin our story.
Ruin our story.
Shoot holes in it.
But how do they get their stuff back to their farm?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I'd like to see more Disney dropping all the episodes at once. Hurt the show.
Yeah, but what would have happened if we were given a week to talk about Tatooine Rhapsody?
Yeah, everyone would have stopped watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's why they released them all, because there were more weaker episodes than stronger.
Yeah. See,
if they would have shown the Duel, then the Ninth Jedi, then the Elder, then all that other stuff would have been left, and it would have just been horrible. That's why, like, literally almost every 3 episodes is another good episode.
Yeah. See, it's a double-edged thing with me, because I do know a few people who stopped watching The Bad Batch after like the 3rd or 4th episode. They really just, because the second one, the third one, they were just filler. I think they got to the 4th and they were like, this again? It's not going anywhere? Okay, I'm done with the show. And they just never gave it another chance. But then after it's all said and done, it's been a few months now, they've admitted to me that they've gone back and watched the Hera episodes, because now they can see the full list and they see all the descriptions and they go, oh, look, Hera's back. I'll watch those 2. And then they're like, then they said, I just was reading the descriptions and I skipped till the end and watched the last 2 or 3. And it's like, so they got more out of it once they had all dropped, where a lot of us diehards stuck with it every week to week. But
that's how a lot of people I know watched the Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Because once it was over, they watched all of it and loved it all.
So the weekly strategy made me question it, because the weekly strategy lost all those people who have come back now that it's all dropped and watched 1 or 2. So if it had all dropped at the beginning, they may have given the first 2 or 3 a chance and went, well, I'm going to read the descriptions from now on, and then immediately went to the Hera episodes and immediately went to the end. So it's kind of like, would that have been better for their ratings at the time? Like the first couple weeks of ratings, that those episodes got more watches, or was it better for them to have it the way they did it, where even the Hera episodes and the ones at the final episodes had barely any of these average people watching it. Only diehard Star Wars fans watched it all the way through. Everybody else gave up on it. So it's kind of
I think it's because it's storylized. These don't connect in any way. So it's easier to dump them all.
True.
Like with all the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows so far, the weekly thing is a good idea. Because even like with What If?
Yeah.
What If is building to this next episode, and every episode before it built. It's like they had a whole new Marvel universe worth of movies coming together next week in What If. And just to see them clearly writing ahead like that.
Yeah.
Which I know we've gotten with Bad Batch, but Bad Batch is a slower burn.
Yeah.
Because that's just how Filoni works. I mean, season 1 of the Clone Wars was horrible. Go back and watch it.
I do watch it all the time. I love it. I don't know why you keep
watch
saying
it in order.
I do.
And it's in order. You watch it and you're like, where are the Jedi? Where's the war? What is going on? I don't care about these clones.
See,
but by the time season 7 rolls
yeah.
around and I rewatch season 1, now I like season 1.
I can see
but
your
before,
point. Yeah.
I just could not do it. I actually stopped watching until season 3 came out. Then I went back and watched Up.
You see, I didn't get into it until end of season 2, beginning of season 3, or somewhere in that range. So by the time I started watching, the Jedi were already prominent, and then I went back and watched season 1 and all of season 2. Mm-hmm. And so it must have been different for me because I had that going in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and honestly, I almost turned Rebels off by episode 3. I was so tired of Aladdin. And
that I can a little understand, yeah, because I know. Hey, Sleeping, how you doing?
Is your life complete? It probably isn't if you don't have a Sleeping Collectibles t-shirt.
There's your plug. There's your plug. Yeah, I can't wait. Cold Bay Games, Sleeping Collectibles, Space Buns will be there. Nemurial will be there. We're all going to Disney. We're going to overlap.
Like a little. If you guys could set up a half-hour live stream, that would be great.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
The three of you sitting in Hollywood studios in front of the AT-AT at Star Tours or something.
Well, there'd be 5 of us.
Or 5 of you.
Or more. I don't know.
Clock in with a live stream or just record something for us and say,
well,
hey.
We'll at least say hi when we meet up. We're gonna at least have lunch or dinner, maybe or drinks. I don't know what we're gonna do, but I already gave Sleeping my phone number. We're definitely gonna meet up at some point because we're both there 9, 10, and 11, or 8, 9, and 10. I think it is because I'm there 7 to 10, and I think he's there 8 to 11. So we overlap 3 days, and I'm sure in those 3 days we can fit a visit in where we're going to be. But yeah, we're not all going to be running around together the whole 3 days because that's just unheard of. You don't. No one ever does that when they go to Disney. Everybody wants to go in different directions and do different things.
You have to make plans. You don't even know what park they've got stuff to that day.
And that too, because you got to make a reservation. You could totally have a reservation in a different park. Because you gotta make your reservations ahead of time, and not every park is available for every day. So yeah, but I'm sure
until 2 o'clock, and then you can park hop.
Yeah, but I'm sure we'll work it out, and I'll go meet Sleeping at any time because I'm the one who has the least amount of plans. So they're gonna set the plan, and I'm gonna just show up when they want me to and where they want me to. But I can't wait to meet everybody in person. I just think even just stopping in and saying hello for 5 minutes is going to make my day because I just think it's great to meet everybody in person. Yeah. And I really enjoy, just meeting in person, I actually wore your shirt today. Look at that. I got to get on the merchandise train. We're gonna have that set up by Christmas because my dad really wants to help do stuff with that merchandising and things, and he keeps talking about it. Some of that test
footage for 1313 still might be on YouTube.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah, that was the game, right?
Yeah.
I think we'll see an animated Grogu show. There's also an animated Beasts and Creatures coming soon. Yeah, they're definitely gonna do something with Grogu, and
they cannot let that gravy train in because they have too much stuff in the stores for him.
And it makes me curious if that implies that we're going to see Luke. And that's why I think an animated series might make more sense. Because using the deep fake face technology and everything, it's good and all, but it still needs a couple of years' work, in my opinion. And I don't think it would handle it if you did an entire live action show deep faking Luke's face the whole time. I think we'd all be distracted too much by because it's not perfect.
I've always thought that's the way you fill in the time between Return of the Jedi. And because, Carrie's gone, sadly, but you can recast her voice. Mark can do his voice. There's a guy, Ross McDarman. He's on The Walking Dead. He does an incredible Harrison Ford impersonation.
Oh, nice.
This is the way I've wanted Indiana Jones to move forward.
So animated is what you're saying?
Yes, animated.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can have them be whatever age you want. You can start the story 5 years after. You can keep it the Mandalorian timeline. But, blocks of 3 would have been an interesting idea.
There you go.
The Muppet Babies Star Wars episode was incredible. I loved that episode.
Oh, I do too. I love Muppet Babies too. I'm a Muppet Babies fan. I don't know why, but I am.
And what are you looking for next week?
Oh, we're looking for Star Wars Muppets.
Exactly.
We are.
And Haunted Mansion Muppets.
And Haunted Mansion Muppets. That's right. Yeah. Animated Kenner Star Wars show. That's what. Yeah. What was that game?
Interesting show.
I had a game on my phone. Speaking of Kenner stuff, and I think it was called. Was it called Empire or something? I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was sort of a top view. Remember? Like Command and Conquer, like how Star
Star Command and stuff like that.
Starcraft.
Oh yeah.
that angle where you had those armies you built in Age of Empires and all that stuff. Like, it was a game similar to that, but I think you kind of did more sides, turn-based side stuff. But
Mhm.
it had all the mini rigs in it from the Kenner line as vehicles that you could build and your guys would use to fight the battles. And I was like, this is awesome. I get like Kenner mini rigs in my video game. I just
What
thought it was awesome.
What was that movie with Darth Vader in it? Was it Indian in the Cupboard?
Yeah, Indian in the Cupboard had Darth
Yeah.
Vader in the cupboard. Yeah. Hi, Andrew. Good to see
Well,
you.
somebody has.
Yes. Yeah, I actually did.
Some jerk, I don't know who he is, bought a pack.
We'll have to get to that. Let me get through these comments here. Let's see. If you think Bad Batch a bunch of filler leaves, Visions correctly could have kept. Yeah, you're right. Maybe groups of 3 or something would have been a good idea. You're right. Storyline, few episodes. That too.
I almost think they should have given 3 or 4 episodes right away.
Yeah, they could have done that too with
that
Bad
long
Batch.
episode up into a couple episodes.
The momentum going. Why do you
what
think
annoyed me the most about Bad Batch is we'd start an episode and they'd say, well, that was a crazy adventure. I'm surprised we got out of that. And then they'd go have some sort of mediocre adventure.
Yeah.
I want to see what happened before.
Hi, Gilster. Good to see you.
Gil.
Oh, there's Space Buns. Hey,
Space
how you doing? Yeah. Disney. Oh, Geek Strong's here. Hey, Geek Strong.
Hey, Geek Strong.
Can't always write a hit, right, Shabby? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was called Resistance. And
yeah, that is true. He does sometimes come back and later on expand on these things.
Yeah, because you'll go into like season 4 of the Clone Wars and he'll reference stuff back. You'll be like, oh my God, did he mean that? Or is he writing himself out of a hole?
Member berries.
Very true.
Oh boy, there's a droids based. Yeah, I heard the droids coming back. Yeah. Droids 2. Oh my.
The Reckoning.
Oh my.
Oh my.
I got a feeling it was droids inspired. I think we will see more Kenny mini rigs in the Mando show. That would be awesome. Cool. I would love it.
Yeah.
Prune Face in Toy Story 3. Yeah. Tomb. How you doing, Tomb? Tomb's got to drive. So yeah, the trading cards. I'm actually very excited for these. These are Star Wars battle plans. And I did buy a box. I bought 2 boxes. There's a video up where I go through opening a few packs. The packs look like this. Surprisingly, they have a First Order Stormtrooper on there instead of... You would think they'd still be sort of shying away from that stuff, but I guess they feel like it's time to test the waters and see if people are okay with buying packs that have that on the cover. But yeah, so to give you some highlights here, I opened up, and this is what I want to talk to Chris about. So I opened up a couple of packs and I got a autograph from Wedge Antilles, David Ankrum.
Dennis Larson.
This is David Ankrum. This is the other Wedge. Yeah.
The voice of Wedge. Because God forbid we have British people in the Republic.
So, yeah. But this is a purple border chase one. It turns out on the side of the box, it tells you that it's 1 out of 1,500, actually. So, really cool to get that. There's only 25 that exist of this one. And then I have some of the medallion ones. I guess you get 1 of these in each box. And the blue is also a chase variant. They're normally with a white border.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Stormtrooper here. And then we have Han as a blue border one. So he's a chase variant one. And there's 149 of this one if you look in the corner there. So it was cool to get some of these. I guess you get 1 medallion card with each box like this.
Yeah.
So You do get you are guaranteed basically to get one special card, and then they have a bunch of foil cards. You can see I don't know if you can see the rainbow foil that's sort of going, and then the normal cards are white border like this. There's a small thin white line that borders the card, and then they have them with a green, and they have them with a blue chase parallel. They're like parallel sets, right? That's what they call it.
Should be
right?
a red one as well.
And then there's red. There's actually red, purple, black, and they have varying degrees of.
They have black again.
Black again. And
see, and that's one of the things that's driven me away from Topps is then I randomly have like a card.
Yeah.
I'll buy a box and I'll get 20 packs.
Well, like I did.
One card.
I got one green one and a giant, like my stack of regular is like that, So, and what's really funny to me is that it's a total side thing here, but when I try to make sets, okay, when I'm going through the cards, why is it that 80 through 90 are the ones I never get? Like I did that. When I got the Rogue One ones, like the mission briefing, like I opened like 100 packs before I got anything in the 80s. And then I was doing my old Star Wars Return of the Jedi ones, the ones from Topps back when we were kids.
Yeah.
And again, I got so many cards, but nothing in the 80s. And then with this stuff, I'm opening them all up and I start sorting them, putting them in order. And I'm like 80 through 90, I have like 2 cards. But all the others, I've got like 6 in the 70s, 8 in the 50s, 6 in the 60s, 7 in the 70s. All the way through, I'm missing 1 or 2 from each set of 10. But then you get to the 80s to 90, and I only have 2 cards, and I'm missing the other 8. But in the 90s, I got them all, So I'm like, it's always that I can't get anything in the 80s. Like, is that the thing that Topps has always traditionally chosen to be more scarce than the others, so that you always have to chase a few cards to trade with friends?
Usually, it's in the upper cards. It's hard. That's what I like about Rittenhouse cards so much, because unless it's a large set, you're guaranteed a set in every box.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
now, you don't get all the specialty cards, of course.
Yeah.
But you're guaranteed a set of base cards in every box.
Yeah, I got those acrylic sleeves out there. You're right. I got to put those in there. $19.99 regular retail for the box of 10 packs. But they are selling on eBay for around $30. I've seen a couple.
They're impossible to find.
I've seen a couple sell for $25 on auctions and things. So,
because like today, I was at 3 Targets, 2 Targets and 3 Walmarts. None of my Walmarts have started carrying cards again yet, and the Targets haven't started carrying Topps stuff yet. So I don't know if the Topps guy just hasn't been there yet.
Well, I've been to I actually went to a couple stores this morning because I had to go pick up a prescription, and while I was out, I went to a couple, and I had done the rest of my stores for the week on Tuesday and Wednesday there, and I didn't see any more cards anywhere at any of the stores in my area. So it was just that one store just happened to have some, and that was it. So,
and even on Topps, the Topps website, you can't buy those; they're sold out.
Wow.
So
they were just on a shelf. I got lucky; I didn't have to dig under the things, but I have found stuff under those things like sleeping shows. Yeah, and I check. The way I do it is when someone hides something underneath, they don't usually leave that shelf empty, but they'll put one item on there. So what I do is I walk through all the toys and sometimes the sports and other things that are just next to toys for the next couple aisles. And I look for one thing that looks out of place or like it's skewed. So it wasn't put there perfectly. It's like they just threw something down there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times I'll go, there's something that looks strange. I take it off the shelf, open the shelf, and sure enough, there's something stashed under it. Like a Marvel figure or something. Like he found that Katie and some packs of cards and stuff.
I think Walmart's got the right idea where they just don't have baseboards anymore.
No, but people put it under the shelf.
They do try to put it under the shelf, but I've watched them, and when they when they straighten at night, they get down and they look under there and grab
do
stuff.
they? Yeah.
Or when who's ever sweeping gets
Oh,
like
that's
this
true.
and goes in and tries to get stuff.
They'll end up digging it out.
Hey, what
yeah.
up, Dandy?
Hi, Dandy. How you doing? I gave up, John. I just waited to see the series done by the whole set used.
I do that too. Or I buy my cards. I've been buying them. I've got a couple people online I buy from, but I buy them at at collector shows. We've got a couple guys who come around and they're like $5 for the set. And if it's a really hard set, it's like 10 or, at most $25 for a set. Well, that's better than me wasting, money, pack after pack after pack to get the 3 cards I'm missing.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to bring up. Like, I want to know from you, Chris, because you, from my perspective, you're like the trading card expert. You've got this down on how to trade, how to collect trading cards, and I enjoy opening packs. So I like doing what I did, buying a couple boxes and opening to see what I get. But to complete my set, it starts becoming cost prohibitive to do that,
Yeah.
So at what point do you just go, I'm going to either buy a set or buy the ones I'm missing? Like, which do you think is the more cost-effective way to do this, to get a base set? Would you just buy a base set, or would you...
It depends on how many you're missing in the end. If you're missing like 4 or 5 cards, I would go to eBay and look for those 5 cards.
Yeah.
But if you're trying, and especially if you're trying to complete like the green set or something like that, that's one of the lower other sets, then I'd go like that. But if you're missing like 20 cards, you might as well just buy the set.
And
it's
with the chase, like the subsets, you do the same thing. Just buy a subset online and deal with it.
Yeah, I do. There's, you can get a great selection of them on eBay always. But I love opening packs, but packs have gotten so cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
At my comic book store, if there's a non-hobby version of this set, then that's going to be what Target has. But if there's a hobby version of it, my comic book store will have it. And let me see. Yeah, but there is a hobby set for it. So they're actually
expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like $5 a pack.
Yeah.
Because they're not only they're the same base set, but they probably have another subset in them that isn't available in the non-hobbies, and your autograph chances are better.
Well, and don't you get like these packs have 6 cards in a pack, and I generally was ending up getting 1 foil, and if I got an autograph or something else in there, then it's like I'm only getting like 4 cards that are going in the base set.
Those helmet things that you've got in them.
Yeah.
Those won't be in the hobby packs. So that's a completely different subset. So somebody like me who used to collect like that would then have to buy like 10 of those boxes.
Yeah.
And so I would end up with tons of base cards.
Gotcha.
And maybe even a second set of holofoil stuff just to try and get a set of those others.
Yeah.
And me and a buddy used to trade them all the time. And that's the way we did it. I'd buy a box, he'd buy a box. Together we'd see what it was. Or with like Rittenhouse, their autographs are so good, and they don't do a lot of stuff anymore. Now they do Game of Thrones and they do Star Trek. And we would buy a case of cards and split them between us, and it was like $700.
Wow.
And we'd buy them so that we would get pretty close to complete sets, including most of the autographs.
Gotcha. Huh. I like this comment. Could y'all imagine Shabby Con? How cool would that be?
That'd be cool.
So when is Shabby Con, and when are we all getting together? I wouldn't mind. That's cool. I'll do it. Cool. Good to see you, Brandon. Nice that you've got 124.
Cool. Good deal.
Shabby Con will be epic. When is it? I'll go. Well, I'll drive up. I'll drive up to Shabby's house. Take me a little while to get there, but I'll get there.
I have seen people do that as well.
Yeah. Microwaves and the furniture. Like, over in the furniture department, if they have a thing like a chest of drawers or a
Mhm.
dresser, I've opened those drawers up and found stuff inside there.
During Christmas time and this time of year, a good spot I generally find stuff, and I need to go back and start looking again, is in sporting goods. Because people aren't buying sporting goods stuff at the moment. It's a horrible place at the beginning of the year because everybody's buying stuff because they don't want to be fat anymore. But during this time of year, those weight sets or a volleyball set, those aren't going to sell. Not in
Yeah.
Colorado, at least. And so there, you can put something behind it, and it's pretty good there to stay there for a week or so.
Thanks, Tez. Appreciate
Hey, it
that.
does. It also depends on how good whoever is working that area straightens.
There'd be murder when he catches me hanging a Liverpool flag on his roof. Ah! We'll keep him distracted while you're up there, Connor. Bring Shabby Khan to Canada. We'll all go up to Canada. All right. Yeah, Shabby's like not invited. Oh boy. Got my mojo back.
Mojo?
Canada sounds cool. We could all meet at what is it? The falls. Niagara Falls.
Oh, Niagara Falls?
There we go. Wore my Gunners jersey just to throw wrenches. Toys R Us, Shabby.
Oh, yeah, that's true. If we go to Left Coast, we have Toys R Us's to visit.
You're right, yeah. Could be some older toys up there too. You never know.
Never know. Exactly.
1980.
They still have malls there and stuff.
Inside coolers. Oh, there you go. Yep. If someone buys the cooler and they get home and they're like, "What the crap?"
Wow.
I got a Star Wars guy in this thing.
Nice.
Sports shop. Wow. 100% free. Yeah, there you go. Nice one, Connor. So if you tried to get a set of autographs, like, have you bought single autograph cards before? And then how much do those generally go for? And if you tried to really get a set, just base ones, we're not going to go for any of these purple, like, special. If I got one, that's cool, but it's like,
So
it's kind of like I would count that in part of my set and just get regular ones for the others if I was going to buy them.
And that would be super expensive because they're so
okay.
And so God knows what those. I'm taking a scan right quick to see if there's even. So there's one for Eve Perel, who is a Jedi Master. He's one that kind of looks like Yoda. That one starts at $50.
Wow.
And it still has some time, but especially, and it also depends on who the autograph is.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple others. It looks like this guy's actually been able to get 3, and he's starting them all at $50.
There's triple autographs too. There's some that would have like they have a battle scene or something, and it'll have like Anakin, Obi-Wan, like, so. Yeah. Hayden.
There's a D. Bradley Baker Captain Rex one. That's
there. You go. Purple. Yeah. So
that starts at 150.
Yeah.
So it just depends on who it is.
Yeah, there's some that are. I think it's Ian McDiarmid, Hayden Christensen, and Obi-Wan there. What the heck?
Oh my God, that's
Ewan McGregor. So like all 3 signatures are on one card because
that would more than likely be a one of one.
So it's kind of like these triple autograph cards got to be out there that you had you'd have no hope of buying it, right?
No hope, because they're going to be so expensive, because those are definitely one of one.
Wow.
And so
this is what you're talking about with Topps, where they make it so impossible to get a full set, is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah, because not only that, but like if they do what are called printing plates as well. Yeah,
there was printing plates.
So the printing plates have those autograph cards all have printing plates to make the cards. And then they've had people sign the printing plates that are also one of one.
Wow.
And so it makes it so prohibitively expensive for people to have what's called a master set. Also, you have, because this set has sketch cards.
Yep.
Oh, there
Sketch
you go.
cards. Yep.
2021 Star Wars Battle Plans, Obi-Wan and Anakin, double autograph, one of one.
Okay, so it's a double autograph for that
Double
one.
autograph,
It wasn't
only a
Ian
double.
McDermott also. Okay.
Starting bid $17,261.21.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
But it is Canadian, so Canadian dollars.
17,000 Canadian dollars. Left Coast, pick that up for me. I'll be.
Here's a Finn, John Boyega one of one, $3,000, and that's generally what the one of ones go for.
Wow, one of
Anywhere
one
from
for
1,000 to 3,000.
So you don't have any hope of getting Finn's card if it's a one of one?
Not if it's a one of one, no.
Oh my gosh. I don't
So more than likely,
So you can't complete a set then, is what you're saying. There's no
never.
hope.
Not with Tops. Not with Tops or Upper Deck. Because Upper Deck does the same thing, but their autographs are even, not only are their autographs short, but their sets are so large, like we were talking about, you almost have to buy a case in order to get a complete base set of cards.
Wow.
And it's crazy. But like when you were saying about prices, this is Jeff Francis he's Admiral Grace from Last Jedi, I believe it is. But this was $6.
Okay.
And this is out of a Masterworks, and the Masterwork boxes are $200 a piece.
Huh.
And they come with like 4 packs in a box. And they're nuts.
Wow.
But he's not a well-known character.
Correct.
So in a lot of my cards, if I haven't pulled a good Star Wars autograph card, I generally have bought them, and I can buy off-brand people, as it were, background characters and things like that for $10 or less.
Okay, and that's what you'll draw the line around there, is what you're saying.
It depends on who it is. If it's somebody who actually bothers to have lines and stuff, then I'll go as high as 15.
Okay.
But if it's just a guy standing in the background in a costume doing nothing, then I draw the line at $10. Now I'll pay $20 to meet him in person.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to buy a card like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've gotten Kenny Baker and a couple of James Earl Joneses and stuff like that. I've pulled out of packs, but I'm not very good at pulling autographs out of tops. I was incredibly good during the Lord of the Rings time.
Oh wow,
those were really hard to pull.
We can sleep at Papa's. Oh yeah, that's true.
That's Colorado for you too. In fact, that's Colorado today. It started out as a very good golfing day, and it's supposed to get about 6 inches of snow in the mountains tonight.
We did that once when I was in Seattle, just to say we did it. We went to in the middle of winter. We went up into the mountains and went snowboarding, and then up in the 40 minutes outside of Seattle. Just drive 40 minutes north-ish. And you can be up on mountains that are, crazy high and have 20, 30 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And then drive back into Seattle and go south of Seattle for about 2 hours and get to the coast. And you can be in perfect sunny conditions and go surfing. So we did it once just to say in the same day we went snowboarding in the mountains and surfing at the beach in the same day, just to say we did it once because it's possible.
Yeah.
So
I was looking for my Masterworks box. I must have sat that somewhere. But my comic book store, they will buy a case or two, then they'll open a case and sell the autograph and make more money on that autograph than they do on the entire case. But instead, I just found some old packs.
Oh, nice. Look at that. You can hide stuff by throwing it really high in the air. Granted, it's only a short-term solution. I like that. Cards are a scam. I have no more comments. They are a scam. I know. Yes, they are. I think that's what we're getting at, is they are a scam. I love the art.
They can be, depending on what you're buying, and Topps is the worst. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Topps is the worst because they put so many subsets in.
Hey, collecting. How you doing collecting?
Yeah. Because there's The Mandalorian, Journey of the Child, which
Yeah.
was last.
That one's really expensive. I was trying to find that set and I couldn't get
There
it.
are only 25 cards in a base set with 5 illustrated cards and 2 parallels. But the set is only numbered to 100. So you've got different sets that are 99, 50, 10, and 1.
Wow.
And there are parallels, oversized parallel cards up to 49. Then there are poster size ones that you could only get from the website, which were 1 of 1.
The
Star Wars Authentics, they were an autograph card set.
So I don't know what the ones you have in the past, Chris, but this is actually a sticker. It's like raised up. So
because Topps doesn't do on-card autographs very often.
Yeah. So what they did is, I imagine they sent a sheet of a sticker, just 100 stickers or something, let's just say. And it went to his house. And then what he did is he just signed every sticker in the spot where they put an arrow saying, because it's hard to see. There is a line on here and like a space. And then above it says like top certified authentic signature or something like that. So there's writing on top and bottom, and there's a little space that's different where the autograph is than the rest of the sticker. So I imagine they must have all these little arrows saying line up your signatures here. And he just signs, and then mails that sticker sheet back. They print the card, peel the sticker off with a signature on it, and stick it on the card. So it is an actual signature that he signed, but he didn't actually sign the card technically. He just signed a sticker sheet.
But the master works, because they're so expensive, they do on-card autographs. So they have actually sent 500 of this card or whatever to him, and he sat and signed them all. And that's what Rittenhouse does. Rittenhouse has them. They don't do stickers. So here's this is from Deep Space Nine. And this is an on-card autograph. They send them the pen and they send them the card so that all the autographs are the same color as well.
Oh, gotcha.
And so they say,
so
sign here.
They get a brand new pen out of the deal. Look at that.
Exactly.
See you, Connor.
And so, and they try and do it like this is from JJ Verse, but it's still the same blue, but I prefer Rittenhouse. Now when Bryant does them, they'll send different colors, and then this is a green autograph, and there's less of the greens than there are of the blue or of the red. So they don't do different cards, they do different pen colors.
So do you think they tell that the person signed 20 with green?
Signed 25 of this, and some of them are San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. So one color will only be in those boxes. But like these are all Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can see they're all the same color. They're not using a big pen. They're using a normal pen.
Yep.
So they're all the same. And then Rittenhouse generally limits, like these guys, they generally do about 300. So 300 is considered a common autograph. 200 is hard. And then anything less. Sometimes like Patrick Stewart and stuff only sign like 25 or 50 cards. So they're called very rare.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what the set is and, that kind of thing. And see, what I don't like about Topps is now I guarantee you there's no checklist for that yet. But I guarantee you there's a Carrie Fisher autograph in that.
Really?
Yeah, because they have taken that sheet of stickers that Carrie signed back in the day, and they can use those for as long as they still have them.
Oh,
she may have only signed once or twice for Topps, but she signed like 500 of those stickers, and so now they can put those in sets forever.
Same with Harris. I get what you're saying. So they're not necessarily, if an actor does sign 500 stickers for Topps, they're not going to stick 500 in the next set they build. They might only put 25.
Yep.
and then they can keep the other 475 for future sets. I get you.
Yep. So now they can have a Carrie Fisher set in as many sets as they want until they run out of that sticker.
Wow.
So there was talk that Harrison Ford hasn't actually signed for Topps since the Indiana Jones Heritage set back in the day. That they've just used the sticker from those over and over through Star Wars and Indiana Jones sets.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's artificially rare.
Yeah.
Because they've decided to do that.
Hey Jeff, good to see you. Glad you are learning some stuff. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm learning stuff because of Chris's knowledge on these trading cards. So that's what I
have spent a lot of time and money on these cards. But let me see. I wonder if they've got anything. No, nothing yet.
Like the other stuff I noticed that's out is, so in addition to this, now there could be more, but all I found right now is Battle Plans Star Wars set, which goes through all 9 saga movies. It has a Battle Plans for Rogue One and some Battle Plans for the Clone Wars and Rebels. So
wow,
it actually includes a good 9, 10, 11, about 12 different battles that are in the set here.
Yeah.
So, and then character cards, like there's these, what do they call them? They're character spotlight cards. And there's at least 26 of them. So
I hate Topps.
There could be even more because, like you said, I don't have a checklist, so I don't know.
Yeah, there's no checklist yet. But Topps is even worse about how many cards fit on a card page.
I have no idea, actually.
9.
Oh yes, that.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many specialty cards are in almost every set of Topps?
Like 10, right? Yeah.
Or 11.
Yeah.
You pieces.
It should. Oh, I do that about other sets too. They should always be in sets of 9. So if it's gonna be more than 9, it's gotta be 18. Yeah.
Well, and another thing Rittenhouse did and may still do, they did it with the James Bond sets. They would continue insert sets from one set to another and continue the same numbering. So there was a set called like Villains of Bond or something like that. And the first set had 18. Then the next set kept that going, and there was 9 more. And then 9 more. And when you have them in your binders, all those heroes and villains of Bond are all in the same run.
Oh wow. Yeah.
They actually think these things through, which is cool.
Well, Topps used to do that because I remember the original Return of the Jedi was like 1 through 130 or something, and then the second series that came out started at 131 and went through like 200 and something.
Yeah.
So I remember that continuing.
Star Wars went in sets of 66 or 88. General.
Sure. Gotcha. Do you remember this Ghost?
What was the name of that? I'll think about it, G-Force.
Rock on, Chris. Great conversation. Thanks, guys. Thanks for that collecting. Darth Muzza, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, so Chris will get back to you then, G-Force. He'll figure it out.
I gotta think about it.
Yeah. Because so the other sets that I saw that are out, there's a new Mandalorian set, and it's still a white box like this, but it's got the Mandalorian on it. But it's very similar.
Was that the Journey of the Child, or is that a different set?
It's a 2021 set. It just came out. I saw it on eBay. I've seen them on eBay for sale when I was looking up this one, but it's more expensive. They're running more closer to $40 a box when they're $19.95 in a store.
Yeah.
And then I saw that there's a new Star Wars Galaxy set for 2021 also, but that one's running $200 a box. And
because they're all sold out.
They either have 18 or 24. I want to say 24, but it could have been 18 packs, as slow as that. So you're looking at $8 to $10 a pack, regardless of what it is, and there's no way you're going to get a complete set in that one box. So I was kind of like, man, are they
Well, and what's
Like, is
weird
it better
is
if I
that,
want the Galaxy set? It's better to just buy the set then, right?
yeah, pretty much for those.
For something like that.
Yeah, because the base set for that has 100 cards in it. So you might come close in just a box, but that box is $100. And the problem is there's insert cards. There's 10 inserts,
Yeah.
something called Visions of Mandalore.
Yeah.
And then they did 15 vintage posters. And then there's 20 global posters. So every time there's another poster card or an insert card, that takes out another possible base card set.
Yep.
And they did a ton of really nice autographs. They did a couple doubles and a couple triples. But it's, yeah, that set's very expensive. And again, on Topps, that's completely sold out. And then the Signature Series was this year too, and that's also sold out on Topps.
Yeah.
You can't even order them from Topps. And once Target stopped carrying the non-hobby sets,
Yeah.
then
that's what screwed it all up for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I had known about these coming out ahead of time, you're saying I could have ordered them from Topps directly off their website.
Yeah.
And just had a couple boxes shipped to my house. Okay.
So cardboard. What? Let me think. What was the name? It's
So I got to pay attention next year if I want to get some of these sets, then, and do it as packs. Then
Yeah. Cardboard Connection. That is something.
Okay.
If anybody's interested in cards of any kind, whether it's sports cards, non-sports cards, that's where you want to go.
Cardboard Connection.
Cardboard Connections, because they'll tell you. They kind of give you an idea of what's coming up. Like they've got an early checklist, it looks like, which the Rittenhouse doesn't even have on its website yet, of a new series for Star Trek called the Women of Star Trek Art and Images cards. Wow, those are pretty. And it kind of mixes all the series and the JJ and all that. So there are 72 cards. There are now parallel cards as well for that. There's 1 in 18 packs, so you get 2 autographs in every box guaranteed.
Huh, okay.
So, and then there's relics, which are really hard to get, and then sketch cards are generally 1 of 1, of course, just because they're...
Well, there's something on these that I wanted to bring up. There's, so autograph, parallel, Ultimate Showdowns, we got...
oh, yeah, PSA, that was GeForce, you're right.
Fabric relics. So what is a fabric relic?
Okay, with Topps, you have to be very, very careful, because Topps with Rittenhouse and Inkworks and stuff, they were called Pieceworks cards. And in fact, I think I've got one right here. Okay, so this is a Pieceworks. The hell was that? Oh, my printer turned on. This is a Pieceworks card. So this is a piece of fabric from the shirt that this gentleman was wearing from an episode of Legends of Tomorrow.
So they cut up his T-shirt, or
they cut up a shirt, and they generally make a like 100 or maybe 200. Sometimes they're numbered. Yeah, this one's not numbered. And then
so
I've got another one.
Window. It's in a little window, is what it is.
Yeah, right? A little window. Unfortunately, this one's just a white because I didn't get any of the, I didn't get a part of one of the balls on his shirt.
Yeah.
But the thing with Topps is they will create cards. It's not a screen used item. It may be cloth used to create the shirt. So what they've gotten is a bolt of fabric from somewhere at Lucasfilm or whatever. And that may have been used to make it, but it's not actually used. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when they say in the sports card world, Topps will give them a jersey, and they'll put the jersey on, count to 30, and take it off, and now it's a used jersey.
Yeah.
But it's not really game used. That's why you have to be careful. Sometimes Topps, like those little medallion-y cards that you got.
Yeah.
Those are crap. Those don't exist.
There.
Those aren't real. Like they'll have patch cards.
Yep, I've
Well,
seen
those
that.
are just created patches. Those aren't real. They weren't used anywhere.
Yeah.
But they create scarcity of a card doing that. Like this is a flash. This is another Pieceworks card, and this is one of a sticker that they used when they were doing wedding invitations on an episode of The Flash.
Neat.
So they just cut out that bit from the envelope, popped it in here. There you go.
See, to me, that's worse. It's ruining a prop. Because I look at that shirt and I'm going, could you imagine if they took one of like the Jedi outfits where there's only like maybe 3 that they used while filming the scene of Obi-Wan versus Anakin at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and if they cut it up into little pieces to put on cards and give away, like, to me, it's like you just destroyed a one-of-a-kind prop that some super collector could have in his collection as a whole.
But there were probably about 500 of these.
Yeah, the envelopes I get,
so,
but I mean
that I get that, and that bothers me a lot when companies do that with autographs from the founding fathers or from historical people, and you can get Einstein's autograph, and they've cut it out of a letter and mounted it on the card.
Yeah.
Well, I would rather get
have the whole letter.
Yeah. Like I've got some stuff from some Civil War people, and I like the autographs, and it's great, but I'd rather have the letter that was attached to. And some companies have started doing that where there's been enough blowback, especially on some of this historical stuff. Mark Twain's autograph, that's great, but what was that in? Was it in a book? Okay, if it's just in a copy of Huck Finn, I'd still rather have that book autographed by Mark Twain. That they've started like one of one things like that, where you actually get the piece, the whole thing. But not many people are doing that, and that I get that. I understand that completely. But
Jonathan, skin Baby Yoda and stick bits of him on a card.
I have something like that. What did I do?
Now I understand if the item's already fallen apart. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. Like, if it was ruined during filming and it's already fallen apart, take that thing and give bits of it away. But if it's intact when it's delivered to the company, don't cut up a perfectly intact, beautiful piece that's one of a kind.
Yeah.
Here's the Mandalorian 2021. It's a Topps 2021, the Mandalorian season.
Oh, that was last year.
Oh, okay. It still says 2021 on it, so I was...
Yeah, because that's season 2.
Okay.
Which is also sold out.
Yeah, it's sold out on So I thought it was...
Yeah, those... I think those came out... Maybe they didn't yet. I don't know. It got to be where it was harder to follow because Topps put out so many so fast.
Yeah.
That it was hard to follow what was and wasn't. Well, how do I have this set up?
Well, it could have very well been the end of last year, beginning of this year, because that's for season 2. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And they labeled them. They labeled them as 2021, even though they technically came out at the end of last year. They always do that stuff too.
For a show that came out a year before that.
Yeah, I actually have that comic also. It's actually got their blood. With their blood, they took a vial of blood from the band members, mixed it in with the ink when they ran the comic. So you've got a little bit of their blood in the ink when this comic was made. I have that comic, Fabulous Disaster. I do.
Oh man, this made a mess. Funny.
They can cut up the script to The Last Jedi and give that out.
But there's like costumes. I'd rather have that whole costume from Yoda, from Odo, or
Odo, yeah.
And like Spartacus, they have this scroll.
Weird. Wow.
And they cut bits of the scroll up, and they show. What's worse is they stab you by showing you what the prop actually looked like before they cut it up.
Wow.
It's like, what?
I don't know if they have Stan Lee's blood. I don't know about that one. I know I have the Kiss comic, but I never heard about the Stan Lee one. That could be, very well could be.
This is one that hurts. The original costume for Terry Carter from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my gosh, yeah, right?
That hurts. And Starbuck.
Wow.
So they got like a cape or a jacket or something, and then cut that up. Man, this, oh my goodness, this got to be such a mess. This is a big box of autographs and Pieceworks cards.
Oh
I'm
my
still
gosh, wow.
sorting through. Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
You could just send it to one of us. We'll take care of it.
Oh, here's what I was looking for.
Rise of Skywalker too, Jeff.
Oh, no. Here's a piecework from Ironhide from Transformers.
What? Oh,
They cut
Gotcha.
up one of his wheels. Look how thick
so
this
there were
was.
there were actually physical things for those.
There were physical cars for them.
Huh.
And so I know when I got that piecework, I was like, what is this? But yeah, so they do it for all. I mean, I've got this one's for the Highlander. This one's for Bates Motel.
Wow.
Some of them come with autographs, some don't.
Now, did you just buy a whole random pile? Is that what those came from, or are they just?
No, these are from packs and stuff, and I just never have gotten them back into the holders that they go to.
You just okay, huh?
And so it's
Wow.
I didn't actually understand that this was as big of a mess as it actually is in here.
I don't think I have 370. I got a mixture of cards, but like 10 or 12 from each one. The most that I have are for Empire and Return of the Jedi. So I've got to go back and do my Star Wars ones and get them. And I got a couple of unopened packs. I've got
Okay, here's what I was looking for.
Return of the
Here's
Jedi.
a Pieceworks card from Sam
Yeah.
for Lord of the Rings. Now look what it says on the back. This card contains general material used for the creation of Sam's coat.
Ah.
So it's not actually his coat. It's simply a my goodness, this is
Well, because they bought say they bought 20 yards of fabric to make the coats and stuff, and then the leftover fabric.
Yep.
It's from the same roll or whatever, but they just
from the same roll.
They gave Topps the rest of the fabric and said, "Yeah, it's the same fabric we used." Yeah.
Yeah. These here. These are two pieces of a mask from Dexter.
Oh, weird.
And so they just cut up part of that mask.
Oh, sorry, guys.
And put it in there.
Wow. And they're kind of loose in the window.
They're a little bit loose in there. Not as much as they used to be.
Huh.
But so Pieceworks cards are pretty good. I love, as you can tell, I do like autograph cards. I do like Pieceworks cards. And Inkworks was the one who really got that going as far as Pieceworks and autographs. And then you'll get autograph cards that have inscriptions on them.
Oh, wow.
So she may have only signed like 8 cards this way.
Gotcha.
There is a guy who signed for Charmed and Buffy. I can't remember the actor's name. He's passed away now. He would literally sign every single one of his cards different. So every single one of his autograph cards is actually of one.
Wow.
Because he wanted people to have something special.
Yeah.
And everybody else was like, "You son of a bitch! Don't you know that now means I can't ever have a master set?" But yeah, so I mean, there's stuff in here from Alphas and the WWE and
see, like, when did this thing start? Because I got to tell you, so even back in the 90s when I was collecting the first Star Wars Galaxy set from Topps, I don't remember this many subsets and variations and blah blah blah. You know what I mean? I feel like I feel like there was a base set, there was foils, a foil version of each one, and there may have been like a couple of subsets in there. But I don't even remember an autograph card from back then. Like when did
Some
these?
of the Galaxy sets did have autographs in them, but it was at the end of the ones, like in Series 3.
Okay.
This
See, I
kind of
know
really,
I collected like Series 1, Series 2, and then I feel like somewhere probably by Series 3 I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
well, there were so many.
I can't do it every year and get so many set. Yeah. So
I would say it started with tops and autographed baseball and football cards and stuff like that. And I don't know who the first person to set an autograph down on a non, but I know that you remember there was a company called Pro Set that came out and tried to compete against Upper Deck and stuff.
yeah.
They had people autograph their cards, and I didn't even know there were autographs in them because they're on the back of the cards. And they had people like Milton Berle and stuff
wow.
sign their autographs, and there was called the Fans of cards, and it would be a card of Milton Berle, who's a big, I think, a Chiefs fan, and they had him sign some cards. I don't know how many of each of them are. I had boxes at KB. We were giving those away for $5 a box.
Wow.
And I bought boxes and boxes and boxes of those to complete a set, never knowing there were autograph cards on them. And I threw tons of those away one year when I was just done. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh. But I would think that the company that really made it something was Inkworks. Inkworks got the Buffy license and some other stuff like that. And they started putting one autograph per box, guaranteed. And then Topps started doing it with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Artbox did it with Harry Potter, which some of those are really expensive.
Yeah.
That is true. Somewhere within reach, as everybody says, within 6 feet of me, it's probably something you want to look at.
What I love speaking to this comment is there are times where we could name the most obscure thing and Chris will go, you mean like this? It's like, how is it right there? Like, I could get that you own the thing because, like, I do that. Like, yeah, I own the Robotech ship, but it's out there in the other room. But it's not how Chris works. For Chris, he goes, oh, it's right here. Book. You know, like, it's always within arm's reach.
Do you want me to turn around and grab my Robotech?
There you go. See? Yeah, he can just grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, my collection's weird. And what's really weird is not even like 10% of it's in this room.
Wow. See, Jonathan Redmond would be a one of one. You'd never get a complete set of Jonathan Redmond's signature.
That's because John is like me. He's worked in a retail-ish type of job, doing movies and stuff. My handwriting used to be so nice. And then after a dozen years of signing receipts almost every day, my autograph is now it's pretty constant, but it's Ghost Portal. Yeah, well, it's true. It is true. And now I have Walking Dead stuff to sit next to it.
Oh my gosh, that's a cool card back too.
I love these. It's old Python Patrol.
Yeah.
And then they did a series for Tiger Force.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And they were San Diego Comic-Con exclusives a couple years ago. I swear these were. And then they just showed up in England for like £5 a piece.
Wow, those are really cool card backs, yeah.
Yeah, and they're normal 6-inch figures. It's not like they're crap figures. Yeah, warehouse, that'll get you. The signing a zillion things a day. But
that could be one of my, because I worked at a bookstore chain for like 17 years, and it's like we were constantly doing that, writing all this stuff, and I was the same basic job that I am at Lego, but for that chain of 8 stores around Seattle, Half Price Books, and I was their inventory merchandiser for the 8 store, doing stuff at mostly in Bellevue, Redmond, but I would go to other stores, Tacoma, and I barely went to Everett, but I'd go to Seattle, go to the Capitol Hill store, and go to Tacoma a lot, and then Bellevue, Redmond a lot. Yeah, so But you're right. You were constantly right doing that. And so I wonder if that's why, because I remember I had really nice penmanship when I started out. Now it's just atrocious. But yeah. And that could be part of why my eyesight, went too, because I was always looking at the books, all I did was books for 17 years.
Well, when I started at KB, you know how KB used to redline their prices and then put the new price above it? When I started at KB, we had to do that by hand. We had to make tags for every new item and then redline them and then put the new price above it.
Yeah.
And we were so happy. Like the next year or so, they figured out how to print them and put the stickers on the box. So we could just peel the stickers and put them on.
Oh, boy. Flipping a forklift.
I'm sure there was a safety video that told you not to do that.
Yeah, when I first started working there at that company, we had like hand price tags, like a chink chink, and you had to. We had a manual, like a binder where we had to hand write all of our inventory and keep track of everything on paper. And then slowly, within 4 or 5 years, we went to a computerized system and a printer that actually printed out barcoded stickers for us. And so it was everything got to be computerized, and it became so much easier and simpler, but at the same time, it became harder to correct. Because in the past, you'd just be like, oh, I just cross that out, correct the sticker. Or, you're in the book doing it by hand. You just cross that line out, correct the thing. But then when it's all computerized, it's like, all right, I want to change that. Nope, the computer won't accept that. It's like, what happened? What happened to that inventory? If you correct this, where did the inventory go? Well, I don't care where it went. I just want to correct the number. Safety video was not watched by the clown who washed a concrete floor and didn't put down wet floor signs. Yeah, of course. There you go. Right?
Yeah. So with piecework stuff, you have to be very careful with tops.
And you're sure they don't all do that? Like,
no,
those are actual Battlestar Galactica outfits that they.
Rittenhouse used to actually show you pictures on their website. They redid their website not too long ago, and they lost a whole bunch of stuff. They used to show you the costume that they were taking that from, and they would say, "This is coming from the arm of this costume," and randomly you would see it because you'd get part of a patch or something as the cutter just cut through it and created new stuff.
Because I was going to ask that, like, do they actually take it from the shirt, like right here, or do they like take apart the seam? You know how this is folded over and there's a seam here?
No.
Like, I could see them ripping the seam out and taking squares from the extra fabric, so that way the shirt technically can go on a mannequin and still look intact.
Yeah, I've gotten buttons.
Wow.
I've gotten parts of seams in some of them, and it's for the button ones, they actually cut the button off. They cut the zippers out of pants, of course, because you can't get a zipper piecework. It doesn't work like that. But then the machine cuts out stuff. And in a lot of cases, with early Rittenhouse stuff, they would hand create those piecework cards. So it'd be somebody who had the base, they'd put that in permanently, and then press it, make the card, and move along. And they still hand correlate their packs. So they get stacks that have autographs in them. And so they'll have a stack of like 200, and they'll have a stack of 50 and a stack of 25 or whatever. So they know what box is getting what autograph.
Wow.
So if somebody comes back and they say, well, this Patrick Stewart autograph is bad, and they do keep some aside, they'll even replace it if it's smeared or something. But Rittenhouse is probably one of the best companies, and it's very sad that Disney moved away from them and Warner Brothers moved away from them, because they did quality work, good sets that you could complete. They usually, now they're having to do what everybody else is, where Picard season 1 cards just came out, because they're not allowed to do cards that have any kind of spoilers on them, and sometimes not even the when they get normal stuff, some of the effects work won't even be finished, and so then now they're behind. But they're the best company for cards, and there's another company called Cryptozoic that got all the rights to Warner Brothers stuff, and they do nice sets, they really do. But sometimes they're a little insert heavy too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know there was a weird thing because the first Star Wars Celebration I went to, and a lot of the Reed Pop conventions like Seattle Emerald City Comic Con and stuff that I was going to, like, I remember the autograph system just being very easy. Like, even if you had to buy a ticket or something,
Mm-hmm.
you would like you'd go to the booth and it'd be like, well, they're $10 a ticket. You need 3 tickets for this guy's autograph. You need 4 tickets for so and so's. You would just do that, get the number of tickets you want, turn in those tickets, and get your autograph.
Yeah.
And I remember it being so simple, and just a lot of times I would just walk right up to the guy. If anyone's in line, there's like 10 people, and they would do, because they usually did a thing where like he's going to be here from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, tomorrow from 10 a.m. to noon, and we don't let anyone line up until like 10 a.m. Like when he shows up, the line can start. So it's kind of like that way there wasn't like a giant horde of people waiting from 6 a.m. That's how they did it. And then, so that was like the Force Awakens 2015 in Anaheim celebration. And then the next celebration I went to, Topps had taken over the way that they do things. And then Reed Pop went to Topps. Well, I think Celebration is a Reed Pop thing now. But so the next Emerald City I went to that same year, Topps had taken over the autograph thing. And not only did they not have an 8x10, just a normal one, they now had it with like a card border. It was an 8x10 with a card, so it looked like a giant trading card. And then they had all these Topps logos all over it and this little foil thing. And I was just going, what the hell? This is totally going to be out of place from all the other 8x10s I've been collecting for the last 40 years of my life.
Yeah.
Now that you took over, you've made it so Topps like marketing thing so that when I hang this up, it's clear that it was a Topps autograph, And I'm like, and then not only that, but they had you wait in line for one spot so that you could get into the autograph section. And then when you got in the autograph section, you had to go in and say, like, I want, like, it's like these 6 Star Wars guys are this line. These 8 Star Wars guys are this line. These 4 are this line. So you had to get in another line. And then, so you're in a line with all the people who are getting autographs for those 6 or 8 people. And then after that line, you had to get in the individual line that you wanted to get into for that individual. So you waited like 4 hours in the first line, 6 hours in the second line, and then another 8 hours in the last line. I was like, I've been in line for a day and a half to get one guy's autograph that the last time I was at a convention, I got in 5 minutes. Why did Topps take over and screw the whole thing up? You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully now that they've been put in their place, they're going to drop a whole lot. It would be very interesting to see if Star Wars stays with Topps. I would say they would, simply because of loyalty.
Yeah.
But everything else Disney does is at Upper Deck.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So, and Topps, of course, just lost baseball.
Do they own Upper Deck?
It'd
be something. I would imagine Disney owns some card company out there. They have to, right?
You would think so, but they don't actually.
Huh.
Because when they make cards, they're horrible at the parks. I'm like, I've got a whole bunch of park exclusive cards, and I'm like, oh, come on. Farm this out to somebody.
The concept, that's kind of what I'm getting at, Jonathan. Yeah. It's awesome to have the card, but at the same time, I'd rather they didn't cut that artifact up, Yeah. Schrodinger's cat deal, yeah. Do I want this exclusive knowing it destroy? Typing in the dark, I don't recommend.
Well, and Jonathan, you're talking about Vader there. Topps, that's why Topps doesn't do real stuff. The as far as I know, and they may have changed this recently, the only real costume they've ever cut up was an Ewok costume, and that the Ewok bit of an Ewok, which they were tasty, I guess. And those were in one old set. And I don't honestly know if they've ever made any real Pieceworks cards anymore. It's always this cloth used for stuff.
Hello, Mr. Rum in bed.
Hey.
I just hope that you're just sitting there in bed and watching TV and not, please don't tell me you're touching yourself.
No, I bought you an outfit for a reason, Salacious.
I'm naked, gee. Oh boy. Whoops, wrong thing. I'm like that.
That's funny. But I used to love collecting cards because there used to be so many. Rittenhouse would put out stuff for the Twilight Zone and Wild Wild West, and then there were Potter cards, and there's Star Wars cards, and there's Batman cards. But I mean, when was the last time there was a card set for a Batman movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And Topps, I think they could do a better job. And Upper Deck does stuff for the Marvel movies, but they're impossible to complete, and they almost have no effects pictures in them at all. So they're kind of ugly.
Huh.
But that's where it is at the moment. They've got the James Bond license now too, which there's no point to that. I've bought all the Rittenhouse ones. There are 275 autograph cards in one set of the Rittenhouse in the overall set. They have literally gotten autographs except from Sean Connery for almost every single person who ever appeared on screen or had a credited role.
Wow.
And then my doing, thank you very much. They started doing artists for songs. So they have some of the people who have done theme songs autograph stuff, and some of the more behind the scenes people, some directors, a couple writers, because they were running out of people. And there's tons of more people. Oh, I love 5280. 5280 has probably the best collection of old cards I've ever seen in my life at reasonable prices, and they're great.
I like the trading cards myself better than stickers. Yeah.
The stickers, especially older stuff. Like if I were to open up this pack of Return of the Jedi cards, there's a good chance that sticker will just slide right off the card. There's still gum in there.
Yeah, I have mine right up there. Yeah.
But there's a good chance that sticker
unopened
will slide right off. I've had that happen with they were around here somewhere.
I've got a Darth Vader one and a Jabba the Hutt one of that.
I got some first series Garbage Pail Kids. And those stickers just slid right off the thing. I'm like, Wow. So I had to very carefully put them in holders. But like the top one always did do that. Yeah, Jeff, if you're here in town, 5280s is where you want to go. Any toy line you can think of. Now, almost everything they have is loose, but they have everything from Star Wars to Mon-Chi-Chi to Happy Days, Love Boat, Pee Wee Herman, Welcome Back Carter, the Inhumanoids. I mean, there's almost probably nothing you could think of that they don't have something of to buy.
Wow.
But yeah, John, if you're ever in town, we'll take you there.
I gotta come visit and go there. Yeah.
It basically looks like your room in a huge store size. There's Centurions here, and there's Inhumanoids, and then there's Mask, and then there's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and there's Food Fighters and Barnyard Commandos, and there's everything.
I'm saving money. I'm trying not to spend anything this week or next week because I want to save it all for Disney.
Me too. That's what I ran into today.
What was that?
Series figures. Some new
Oh,
Marvel Legends
I
figures.
found the Silver Surfer and the nighttime, the stealth Iron Man vintage ones. So I did buy those. Yeah.
I found my Vision finally, and I bought a stealth Iron Man and U.S. Agent. But all the other ones, I found them in a couple different spots. All of them had their corners bent
Oh
by
no.
somebody. Either they came in the box like that, but these were all like somebody had just taken the corner and went and put them back on the
Wow.
peg.
That's crazy.
So were
Yeah,
mine. And that's
I
why we
remember
weren't allowed
that.
to have
Yeah.
them.
A lot of people did that. Yeah.
They were banned in our school because of that, because we put them all in our lockers. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah,
I
it
remember
basically turns
eating
into a
it.
weird powder and then a kind of a gel.
Oh.
And it still has that Topps gum taste though, but for only about 2 seconds. And then it just is like this weird taste. It's bad. I have done that in the past on a
I
dare.
remember back when I remember opening my Star Wars packs when they first got the cards back in the 70s and 80s and eating the gum. And I would eat I'd open 4 or 5 packs and eat every piece of gum and be like raw, 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 trying to eat this thing. But I wouldn't do it today. That was 40-year-old gum. No way.
No. No, I did it with Battlestar Galactica gum. And yeah, it was nasty. I didn't get sick, but I wanted to be.
I was a gum fiend when I was a kid, man. That was one of my favorite things. We'd go to these little league baseball games that my brother was in, and there was always a pop up, almost like a food truck thing, but I think it was a semi-permanent structure, but someone would rent it out and sell little candy and drinks from it. And they always had gumball machine gum, and I'd just be like 5 or 10 pieces of gumball gum, and
Of course, but then we were the generation of Big League Chew,
or Big League Chew,
and you could just take as much out as you wanted.
Yeah, and by the time the game's done, I would have chewed on the whole bag, and I'm like, because the thing is back then gum's flavor would only last for 10 minutes. So you'd chew for 10 minutes and go, this is getting bad. So you put another piece in to refresh the flavor.
Worst gums are Bazooka Joe gum.
Yep, Bazooka Joe. We'd get that
Double
all the time.
Bubble.
Which one was the comics? I remember opening it and always reading
Bazooka
the comics.
Joe.
Okay, I'd always
Bazooka
read the
Joe
comics.
so you get the comics.
Yeah.
Double Bubble is horrible. And then one of the worst gums, but great tasting, is Fruit Stripe.
That's right, Fruit Stripe. I remember that. The freaking horse or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a zebra.
A zebra, whatever it was. Yeah, but we used to eat that too all the time. You're right. Yeah.
Of those 3, Bazooka Joe held its flavor the longest. Plus, you got a joke and a one-eyed a kid, and I only have one eye, so I could relate.
The powder than gelatinous goo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bazooka Joe's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But I preferred Hubba Bubba.
Yeah. Hubba Bubba.
Yeah.
You could really blow good bubbles with Hubba Bubba.
Yeah. It was good stuff.
I remember that got banned, I think, in our schools because you would blow a bubble and get it in girls' hair. The girl sitting ahead of you would be like, oh. They were like, no more of that.
Yeah. They sell it at the dollar store.
Really? They still have
Dollar
it?
Tree has it. I bought some the other day. I took it to work and I was like, this is my childhood. And they're like, oh, that was good. Oh, only for about a second. Yeah, you got it. That's exactly how childhood works.
Yeah. Well, we've been chatting for a couple hours, Chris. I think it's time we get going.
Good.
Gotta eat.
Overall, we liked Visions.
Yeah.
We're gonna give the second season a chance if it shows up. I'm gonna go watch that new show, Soundscapes.
What's that one?
It sounds like they basically took a whole bunch of images. It's like some sort of weird AMSR where they took only the sound of Star Wars and it's playing. So no music, no other effects and stuff, just like lightsabers or ships flying and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go check that out.
But with visuals too.
With visuals.
Okay, so it's not just a black screen with.
Yeah, so it's just not a black screen or anything. So I'm gonna go check that out and see what that's all about.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I watched last night. I watched that first episode of La Brea, which is why I was talking about the tar pit falling.
Ooh, how was it?
It's just weird. Cool. It. I don't know where the show's gonna go, but it's like it makes no sense right from the start because a giant sinkhole opens in LA and everybody and everything that fell into the sinkhole ends up back in the time of the mammoth. So they end up like 20,000 years
I saw this show. It was called Land of the Lost.
Well, except they didn't go to dinosaurs.
The greatest earthquake ever known. And they were high on the rapids, and then they fell 1,000 feet below to the Land of the Lost.
To the Land of the Lost. Yes, same exact thing. Except they don't land back in dinosaur time 65 million years ago. This time they only land 20 or 30,000 years ago. So,
well, that's funny.
And then someone gets eaten by a dire wolf and the show ends. So,
there you go.
Yeah. But I'm curious to see where the show goes, so I'll keep watching. But it's absolutely and very completely ridiculous. That's like, what?
That sounds like fun.
It's not. It makes no sense. But anyways.
Cool. Well,
all right,
thanks,
Chris,
guys, for hanging out with us as always.
We'll see you Saturday.
Yep. We got on the Peg Warmers this weekend, the Nathan Bowden is going to join us.
On Chris's channel, right?
Yep, it'll be on my channel at 2:30 Mountain Time, so that's 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
So,
all right, thanks everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you guys joining us. This has been a great chat. Lots of stuff going on in the chat, and I love it. And I like talking with you, Chris. So till next time,
dude.
We'll talk to you later then.
See
Bye, guys.